He's following a highly successful prep coaching career in Independence. He spent 34 years there, 22 as a head coach, and of course he was over 200 wins as well. He's got company now with that man sitting next to him. LSU is still unbeaten and #1 in the BCS, and they will host Arkansas this Friday. Arkansas 3rd in the BCS standings. Please give a warm quarterback welcome to Coach Charlie Baglio of LSU. Charlie?
Good to be back here. I don't know if anybody's seen the latest BCS rankings. I hate to tell you, but she's 6th. Oklahoma State was 5th. Arkansas 4th. Alabama's 3rd. LSU 2nd. St. Charles Catholic was 1st. That was the latest poll this morning. But that's all you've been hearing about the BCS. You know, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I want to kind of give you a few little things about where we are at LSU. And between Coach Miles' eating grass or going to ESPN doing commercials, falling, I've been going to the wrong sideline whenever the team was going out one night. This is some of the things that we've accomplished. You can't argue with them, I tell you that. We won, this is only the 2nd time in school history we've won 11 games. LSU scored 6 touchdowns, either on defense or special teams, which is only 5 less than the defense has given up. LSU has won 11 games, 6 times in school history, and Les Miles has 4. LSU's winning streak of 16 games in Tiger Stadium in a row is the longest in the nation. We've allowed just 4 first-half touchdowns all year. Oregon, West Virginia, Tennessee, Western Kentucky. In 44 quarters, we've only trailed at the conclusion of 2 of those quarters. This is a stat I've never heard of, and yet the kid is not in the top 5. Brad Wing has over 30 punts, or maybe even 40. But he's only had 6 total yards returned. 6 total, and he's not even in the top 3. Somebody, I think some team has -1. I know. It's unbelievable. LSU defense has allowed 50 points in 7 SEC games, fewest since 1962. And since whenever we win the turnover battle, which everybody knows how important that is, Coach Miles is 34-4 with that record. Last week we played at Ole Miss, and probably as least competitive a game as I've seen in in a while. Ole Miss is just really down, and but we dominated in all phases of the game. And I thought when Coach Miles took a knee, I heard what Mark May said. He embarrassed the other coach, but I don't look at it that way. He didn't. I was Houston Nuts last game at home, and I thought it was a class act, to be honest with you. But anyway, the game was just one of those kind of games where everything went right for us, and they've really kind of turned it in a little bit, waiting for the next new head coach. Now getting to the BCS, everybody knows where we stand. Could be called the SEC West instead of the BCS, because I don't know if it'll ever happen again. The way, not especially after 11 games, where 1, 2, and 3 are from the same division, from the same league. I just can't see that ever happen again. A couple little points about that is Arkansas We played them this week, and they have a tremendous football team. Very good on offense. Arkansas can actually be ranked #1 in the country and still not play for the SEC championship. You think of that, that means they'd have to beat us and jump to #1. But Alabama would go to the SEC championship because they beat them. There's so many scenarios out there right now that, you know, you keep hearing about them. But Frank was talking about playoffs a while ago, and I heard an announcer today on the way in say that he doesn't understand why people talk about playoffs, because playoffs in college football is the month of November. Looking at it last week, it's about the way you can look at it too, because each week it's a playoff. But until we do get a playoff, the system we have is what we have to play by, and hopefully we can take care of business this week. And if we do, I think we'll be in the championship game, and then I can come down here and we'll come back to New Orleans and have us a little party. Harris would be a good spot, Frank. Anybody have any questions about anything else? Yes, sir.
Am I understanding it correctly that if Arkansas beats LSU, it virtually eliminates us from the West Championship? And I'll tell you what the scenario is. They said last night on ESPN, how they break a three-way tie is the lowest BCS rated team gets eliminated, and they take the top two head-to-head. You would think LSU loses, they have to go behind Arkansas and Alabama, thus eliminating, correct?
It's not correct. It doesn't necessarily have to. We have to go that far down. Is what I'm hearing. I mean, if Arkansas wins the game, Arkansas would have to jump to #1. No, #2.
Correct.
Alabama would go to 1, and we'd go to 3. But there is some scenario out there saying that we won't drop below 2. And if that happens, Arkansas won't move.
So you think Arkansas could beat us and not move? Crazy, huh?
Because of the way the computer numbers and the poll.
I mean, obviously that would be great, but it's
No, I agree with you. It doesn't seem feasible, but that's what some of the people are saying.
Hey, Coach, you made mention about how bad Ole Miss looked. Do you think it's because of the beating that the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs gave them the week before?
I tell you what, that was a pretty good win for Louisiana Tech, I tell you that.
Here's my real question. LSU is the only one that can control their own destiny. So, if they do win out, who do you think they want to see in the championship game?
I think that if you ask anybody at LSU, it doesn't really matter as long as you're in the game. But you know, some people think you don't want to play somebody you already beat. But you're in the game, and that's all you can ask for. But there are some people out there that would rather play somebody you hadn't played before. Any other questions? Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you.